Welcome to the Bettendorf Public Library's take-home workshop. Today's workshop is going to be felt baskets. In your kit, you will have these items. You will have a needle, you'll have crochet thread, you will have a piece of felt, and some pins. Things you'll provide at home include a pencil, a ruler with centimeters, and a scissors. Step 1 will be to take your ruler and measure in 9 centimeters from each side. You want to mark this in about 4 different places. So 2 on your right side and 2 on your left side. Next, you're going to draw a line between your dots on each side. Okay, once you have those lines drawn, you're going to want to make, again, another line approximately 9 centimeters in from your corner. And you will go ahead and do this on the other areas as well, taking it up to the corner right here. All right, once you've drawn your lines, you will have a shape that looks sort of like this on your felt. You can see that I messed up here and I had to redraw my line. Perfectly okay. I just erased it a little bit. It will work out in the end. All right, the next step was to cut on your line like this on all 4 sides. Okay, once you have those cut, you're going to begin to assemble the basket. So your first step is going to be to take 2 of your ends right here and take a pin or 2. Gotta let that down for a minute. And you're going to pin this. It doesn't have to look pretty, it's just utilitarian to keep it in place. You're going to do the same over here. I'm just doing a basic pinning right there. So this is what I have so far. All right, my next step, I'm going to take my needle and thread, and I'm going to sew from the inside so that in case you have a little bit of a messy knot like me, it's on the inside. Will self-admit that I do not have the best sewing skills, so I know that if I can do this with my limited knowledge of sewing, that most anyone can be successful at it. So right now I'm just doing a pretty basic stitch to sew these ends together. And once I start sewing, I'm going to remove my pin so I don't sew my pin in there. And there we go. And forth. One more stitch for good measure. All right. Okay. Then I'm gonna tie this off. And then I'm going to cut my thread. Try to get it real close in there If I'm not totally successful, I can always go back and clean that up a little bit later. Okay. My next step is going to be to retie my knot. Like I said, your knot may be quite a bit neater than mine, and that's fine. I'm going to go over to my side over here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to start stitching where I've got it pinned. And I want to make sure that the edges line up. So I'm going to have to move the pin around a little bit. There we go. And I keep the pin in when I begin sewing, and then I take it out once I've got my stitch started. So I'm going to put my pin back in. I'm going to sew from the back. Okay, I think I can take out my pin now. And then I'm going to tie off my string here. I'm just going to thread through, secure that with a couple of stitches, and tie that off. All right, we've reached the step where we're going to form our basket. Okay, so to form my first side, I am going to take my two sides here and pin, just like I did before, just like this. Okay, so I'm going to pin that. You'll notice that I did fold these over a little bit. That's perfectly okay. Go pull it through for a nicer look. I'm going to do the same over here. Same over here, just like this. And I'm going to pin that side as well. Okay, so now I've got it pinned, and I'm going to be ready to sew in a moment. Okay, I'm going to unpin this. And I'm actually going to cut off the corners here. I should have mentioned that previously. You want a straight edge because this is where your two sides of the basket are going to meet. So I'm going to make sure that I have approximately the same amount on each side. And then I'm going to snip. All right, then go back here to this. And I am still folding my edge in there so it kind of looks like a bunched up basket. Tuck that there for a moment. All right, now here is where we make kind of a cute little design with our thread, okay? So make sure this is just how I want it. And let's pin. Okay, so I've got some pins in there now. I moved this one down just a little bit. Now I'm going to start from the back again. This is where I kind of make it a little decorative. So I'm going to go through my felt right here, pull that through, and I'm going to go up here like this, pull that through. Okay. Now I want it to be kind of like a little X on here. So, oops, I got that around the head of my pin. I want it to be a little X. I don't want it to be super tight. So this is decorative more than anything. So let's pull this down. And do this so that I have my little X in there that you can see. I'm going to take out my pins. And I'm going to go over my X again. Just like this. And like that. So see how I've got two lines of my X on that part of it, and then I'm going to go back and do this. Okay, so I've got this side of my basket completed. So I'm going to tie up these loose ends, and then we'll do our other side. Okay, I have now tied my knot. I'm folding in my corners right here to give it that cute basket look. I'm going to go from the inside and I'm going to begin with my X. And just like I did over here, I'm going to have these kind of close together, but not quite touching probably, and that's fine. This is my decorative X stitch is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to do that X stitch twice. Okay, now I've got that. I'm going to tie up my loose ends in the back. Okay, so for the finishing touches, you might want to tack some just little stitches inside around the edge, just very tiny, just like this. So that the interior of the basket stays together. All right, so here is your finished product after I have tacked up my sides around the basket. And here is your finished product, a nice felt basket ready for fall that you can use for really anything you want. It could be for sewing things, it could be for your keys, your phone, whatever you like. I really hope you enjoyed today's take-home workshop. Thanks for joining us.